All right. Good evening, Midwest Star Wars Fanatics. We are back a little bit later this week. Unfortunately, we have some. It seems to be our guest is having some technical issues and has not been able to get in here with us. So we're going to try to go as much as we can without him. But again, thank you for joining us tonight. Greg Evans, Nerdy Vet 574, with my co-host here, Travis. I'll get this side thing right on here. But just want to welcome you all again. Hopefully we can get Zach in here. We were having, like I said, some technical difficulties on his end. So hopefully, like I said, we can get him in here and talk about that. But we're going to actually sit here. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that's coming out with Gentle Giant and Diamond Select Toys. And also we're going to talk a little bit about collectibles and stuff. And we'll talk that conversation first before we get into everything that's coming out, because I kind of want to know what everybody's feelings are, lately in the collectible world. We're getting in a lot of stuff, where we remember when we first started in this started collecting Black Series figures and stuff. Weren't that much, anywhere between 15 to 20 bucks. And now today we're seeing, the vintage collection figures, like for example, the Target Boba Fett, now is like $24, so everybody who's listening to us today and sitting here, I want to know what your feelings are on this. And, Travis, what about you? How much do you think this is having an impact with collectors now with these prices and stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely starting to get to the point where you have to be, I think, more selective on the things you pick up, at least for me. I know some people in the past, when Black Series figures and things were a little bit less expensive, like, hey, you'd pick up all of them. You kind of complete the collection. But now, I can't remember what the price point today was with some of the Boba Fett sort of comic
$23.99
versions, and that's just for the smaller sized, some of the smaller figures. So yeah, and between the price point and the exclusives thing, which every time now I see Target exclusive, it just makes me kind of roll my eyes and just like, yep. Yeah. Those are exciting and fun.
Even the non-exclusives. If we remember, like, for example, let's talk about the deluxe Black Series figures. You think about the Emperor, the Gamorrean Guard. Those were some pretty awesome packaging. But now they're, considering like the Boba Fett Black Series figure, all because he has a jetpack now, considered deluxe figure, and you're paying close to $30 for it. It's unreal kind of how it's going, which, as a collector, it's tough. You got to make that decision now. Do I go after everything? And we have, said, we saw a comment earlier, prices have been driving people away. And then this one's true too. You got to pay the Boba tax. Definitely. I agree with that one as well. So that's a good point there. But yeah, it just seems the market, and it seems to be lately, too. And I don't know about you, but it seems like everything now that people want is all exclusives. We're seeing, the comic Boba Fett's exclusives, and it's just, I feel like we're getting saturated so much with exclusives, and it's getting so hard to find. You hear the word Walmart and Target, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, just cringing, and hopefully that you can find one or have a buddy that can hook you up. But do you think also, and everybody who's watching tonight, are we getting just saturated too much with exclusives? Is it just, I want to know from you guys, what is it that's changed in your collecting habits just because of today and the way everything's changing? What about you, Travis, on the exclusive front?
Yeah, for me, I guess I'm lucky from the perspective that I don't have a lot of characters that I always go after. If I was, I guess I'll use you as an example. And then the comment there earlier about the Boba tax. Yeah, Boba Fett has a crazy amount of figures and collectibles and just merchandise that comes out. So it's, if you're a Boba Fett fan, I guess my heart goes out to you. It's in my wallet. It's got to be tough to keep up with all the stuff. Exclusives, I try, if there's something I really like and it's pretty cool, I'll go after it. But in general, a lot of times it's just not even worth the exclusives. Either they're going to be so hard to get, it's not worth even trying to do it, or the exclusive is just, you took the same Funko, you took the same figure, and you threw a different paint job on it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the exact same mold of something just painted with like red sparkles, and I'm supposed to say, "Oh, that's a Target exclusive Boba Fett Funko," and I'm going to go after. No, it's just like, no, I'm going to kind of give credit to companies, and we'll get into maybe some of the stuff that Gentle Giant Diamonds like to have coming out, but kind of unique and new, cool things. That's what I like to go after, not just reskin, repaint jobs.
We have Alan Holt and Pete commented, and Paul as well. And I agree. I mean, all these, if Hasbro keeps these price hikes, it's going to drive people to the higher end items. And that's what, I mean, honestly, that's what it's done with me. I'm going more after, pieces that I know are valued more longer in my collection and actually easier to display. I mean, yeah, it takes up more spots for, the Hot Toys and, the Gentle Giant and, Diamond Select stuff. But at the same, it's like, do I spend this money on these or do I go after just something big? And I agree. And I also, Paul, I agree with you 100% because I'm the same way. I'm unlucky because I like Boba and Ahsoka and it's always top dollar. We're both in the same boat there, Paul. I understand exactly what you're saying there, but it's just unreal. Like the deluxe figure thing is what really, definitely changed things for me a little bit, because once they start considering Boba Fett deluxe figure because there's a rocket on him, it kind of it made me actually slow down the Black Series. The only reason I got the not the Celebration one, but the Target ones, because I forgot I pre-ordered it.
Oh, right.
And it showed up, because it was just, I mean, even
that's the other thing too. Anymore, this stuff gets released for pre-order so far in advance. You order things, and I'll get a shipping notification. Oh, something's on its way. I'm like, what did I buy? And you look, oh, that was from something I ordered 6 months ago that's finally shipping.
Yeah. And again, if you're just tuning in with us, again, I apologize. We're having some technical difficulties to get Zach over here from Diamond Select. So hopefully we can get him on here tonight. If not, you guys are stuck with us, and I mean, you're pretty lucky to have us anyways. I'm just kidding. But we're going to talk about that. Hopefully we're trying to work on a couple other things, since we're kind of winging a little bit of stuff here tonight, since we had issues here. But yeah, just the collecting world alone, like even Funko. I mean, let's talk about some of the lower end collecting. I mean, when Funko even started, we're looking at like, $7, $8 a pop, pun intended there, I guess. But now we're looking at, $13, $14. And it seems like, and I understand, everything is going up, but it's interesting because it's definitely starting to put a pinch on pockets of collectors. Here I have 4 jumbo Mandos because I keep forgetting that I pre-ordered them. Yeah, I've done that with a couple things where I've pre-ordered it twice because I forgot and I didn't pay attention and look at my order inbox as well. We do not need 40 different Fets or Mandos. How about him? I agree. That's definitely another one, Pete. I 100% agree with you. I mean, even though I like the all black Fett from the comics, I mean, did we really need it? I mean, it was pretty cool, but again, I'm one of the ones that I feel like I overpaid for it, when I got it, because here was this, this Boba Fett. Yeah, at least could have put some pink paint on it or something like that. So yeah, it's just crazy right now the way the market is and stuff. So it definitely has pushed, like I said, a lot of people to, the higher ends. And I mean, everything though. I mean, Legos even has jumped in price. I mean, if you guys have noticed that too. I mean, it's all up there. So we're being more selective now. I know I used to be quick on the trigger for every Fed item. Honestly, like I passed on the Target ones that just went up this week. So definitely interesting. And
Yeah,
I want to out there, it's what are everybody who's listening and watching, what lines are you focusing on now because of this? And, what have you cut back on? And what were you going to say, Travis? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say the comment that you posted here about not needing just more and more and more of the same, the Boba Fett, the Mandalorian has only been out for 3 years, I guess, but just the sheer amount of the Mandalorian figures that have come out is kind of and Grogu stuff. It's kind of astonishing when you think about it. But no, I agree. I mean, I think there's a lot of other characters out there, but I mean, I guess from a business perspective, I can't fault Hasbro and Sideshow and other companies from saying, hey, I can throw out Boba Fett stuff and people just eat it up. I throw out an Akbar thing or some other stuff, and like, maybe it sells a little bit, but it's not the money makers that some of these other characters have become.
Yeah, see, here's Paul gave up on Mando, too much to keep up with. I agree. It's like it's just I mean, we've had how many different Black Series Mandos? I mean, and then you have the same one. You put one in a white box for first release, and then you have the carbonized one, and then it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. So it's just it does. It's just unreal how it gets on there. And then the other thing to talk about, with the collectors is the whole Hasbro changing of their boxes. What are your guys' thoughts? And Travis, I'll let you talk about a little bit about the windowless boxes now, where you can't see the figure. And stuff, and I'll tell you an example why I hate it here in a minute. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, in general, their packaging is typically pretty good. I mean, I really do like the Black Series, the artwork and stuff on the boxes. But the one thing I do notice, I was kind of late to collecting those figures and things. But if I had a whole bunch of the flat boxed ones, now all of a sudden I have the angled box ones, which definitely does kind of throw off those of you out there that had a big collection previously. It don't match up anymore.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bummer.
The angle for you, so now you can just rebuy them all.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, if you want the boxes to line up, just for the low price of $30, you can rebuy your Boba Fett.
Yeah. My thing is this, and I use this Funko for an example for why I don't like the Hasbro idea of this. I have a Cad Bane Funko that had two right hands, so it looks funny, but you would never notice that if you don't open your boxes and stuff to see, if it's legit or not, or if it's messed up and stuff. So, I'm not a big fan. I mean, just leave it open. I mean, let the dust get in. I guess kind of like the all black Boba Fett that we got. Just don't put a window in it so we can kind of just still see the figure, I guess. But it just, I'm not a big fan of that. And this is a good thing too, is that we are paying $20 for a Funko like the art series. It's just, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, people. The exclusives and stuff. I miss the days where you could go in and go to the store and find what you wanted and everything. But at the same point, it's getting harder. I'll use Cad Bane for example. If you wanted him with was it Toto or whatever the robot's name is, you had to get that Hasbro exclusive. Yeah, if you miss the exclusive, then you don't get that figure. So it's definitely there, a lot of it. This is also a good point too. Jeremiah, thanks for watching. Aaron as well. Glad you guys could tune in. And if you guys don't see your names popping up on your comments here where it says Facebook user, it just means you have to let StreamYard have access to your Facebook, so that way we can see who's talking. I can see it on my end, but I can't see it on the live feed there. But yeah, package swaps as well. I mean, that's going to be crazy, and it's going to happen more and more because you get. And all right, looks like we have Zach tuning in here.
Hey, all right.
So good timing, because we're getting ready to jump over there, and I'm going to bring Zach in.
And real quick, while you're bringing Zach in, the comment there about dishonest people, not necessarily dishonest people, but another thing that we've talked about before when it comes to collectibles is the plague of the flippers. Whether it's at a convention, you've talked about people, running past you in full sprint to be the first to get in line to buy all the exclusives, or people that have buddies that work in the back room at Target or Walmart who, oh, hey, suddenly they walk out with a box of the exclusives to then later that day throw up on eBay or Facebook Marketplace to, make a buck and turn a profit on. I think those people are also kind of in a way ruining the collector experience in their own part as well, because they're the ones that go off and kind of hoard the exclusives and makes the exclusives harder for the people that want them to actually collect. They're getting the exclusives to actually sell and make money.
All right, I'm going to try to bring Zach in here, and hold on, folks, and here we go. And we got Zach. Zach is here, everybody. So Zach Oat, from Diamond Select Toys Gentle Giant, the marketing supervisor, has joined us tonight live. So glad to have you here. Right now, we're actually talking about, the kind of collecting world with Black Series and stuff, and how the prices have really kind of changed collectors. And one of the main comments we're getting, how it's pushing collectors more towards like the higher end stuff for, Gentle Giant and Diamond Select and, some of your competitors as well. But we're kind of talking about how that's pushing to that. So it's kind of nice to have you here so we can talk about the products that are coming. So again, I'm so glad to have you here, Zach. And we're going to have some fun tonight talking about some of the great stuff that's coming from Diamond Select. But first question I got for you, Zach, is I got to put you out here on the thing right now, is what out of all the Star Wars things that Diamond Select Gentle Giant makes, what is your number one favorite item so far?
So far, it's actually a pre Diamond Select Toys item that Gentle Giant made in the Jumbo line. Believe it or not, the Admiral Akbar Jumbo. I'm a big fan of Akbar, so I got the Jumbo hanging on my wall, the big 12-inch one, and that's probably my favorite. I've been getting into the Jumbos a little bit more now that we've started doing them. We put out some really nice ones. I'm looking forward to getting the Darth Maul in my hands pretty soon. With its telescope and lightsaber. But yeah, the Jumbos are a lot of fun. But I do enjoy the busts as well. I got a couple in my display case at home.
I know we have Pete Hartwell in here tonight, and I think he has every Jumbo you guys have made so far. Like
nice.
I see him post on Facebook probably 10 times a week of 20 of them that show up at his house. But yeah, it's a great lineup, and we're going to talk about a few of those here as well. Again, everybody, this is Zach from Diamond Select Toys and Gentle Giant, and we're going to start going into some of their releases. So hopefully we'll make our faces a little smaller so you can see some of the actual good-looking stuff, and we'll go from there. So first thing we're going to talk about, we're actually going to kind of go back and forth with stuff that's pre-order, but this is one of your newest announcements. For guild members, if you want to talk about this, Zach, a little bit about the good old Jawa here.
Sure. This is the off-world Jawa from the Mandalorian, from I believe Arvala 7, I want to say. The Mudhorn egg being held above the head. This is the special holiday edition. We try to do a holiday edition every year. This is the newest one. This one is only available to the Premier Guild, the holiday version. So if you're not a member, you can still join and you can still order. And this one has light up eyes, which is very cool. Light up red eyes, I believe. And yeah, we're going to do a regular edition that doesn't have the ribbon for people who aren't a member of the Premier Guild. But this is the version that's going to be a little bit more limited and a little bit more exclusive.
And that's actually Pete commenting right there. He says he has like 70. So he's probably got a lot. He's probably your biggest fan on when the Jumbos start talking about those. And he also
excellent.
The Jawas are amazing too, he says.
Yeah, that Jawa is really cool. So you said the non, I guess, holiday version would be the same, but without the Christmas sort of ribbon there on it.
Yeah, without the ribbon, same light up eyes, same bottom half. But that one is available. That one's going to be going up for pre-order, I believe, tomorrow.
Okay.
And I believe they'll probably be coming out in early summer. So that's the next pre-order that's going to be coming out. We do have a couple more we're going to be announcing next week. But this is the one we're doing right now. And the regular version, the holiday version, I believe, is up for pre-order. If not tomorrow, then already.
Yeah, it looks like Pete said he's already pre-ordered that one. So,
okay.
But all right, and then now we're going into some things will be so as we're talking about the stuff tonight. Some things are available now, some things are pre-ordered. So you'll have to kind of check out on GentleGiant.com, DiamondSelect.com as well. But the next thing, I'll let you talk about our new favorite Wookiee, since Chewbacca, he's taking a break right now. So let's talk about this one.
Sure. I should say that all the Star Wars stuff is on GentleGiantLTD.com. Diamond Select Toys, we have pretty much everything else, but all Star Wars is exclusively on GentleGiantLTD.com. And this is Black. Well, they don't call him Black Krrsantan in the show, but I still keep thinking of him in the comic book name. But Krrsantan. And he's a very cool piece. This one is a little bit more expensive than a regular bust since he's so big. So it's $150. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about him. He's really cool. He's got brass knuckles, for gosh sakes. He's ready to knock some people down. So I'm a fan of the character, so I'm a fan of this.
Yeah, I mean, out of the book of Boba Fett, Krrsantan was one of my favorite characters to come out of that. And there's been a really, I think, limited amount of figures, kind of merchandise for him, and seeing this is a really cool figure. I know you said it's bigger than your normal one. Like, how much bigger is it? I mean, is it kind of like comparable, like, hey, Wookiees are this much bigger than normal people, so this bust is about the same size bigger as like the Boba Fett sort of bust, kind of comparatively? Or
yeah, I think it's a little bit taller. Most of them come in around 6 inches. This one's probably a little bit taller, but he's definitely a little wider.
Okay.
So we're not talking like Wampa size, but we're talking bigger than usual.
Yeah, I will say, the Book of Boba Fett, and most people know, really let me down a little bit. But I was really kind of upset that they didn't use him kind of like they did with the comics, where his meeting with like Obi-Wan and stuff. And I really wish we could have pulled that in a little bit more. But we'll get on that in another show. I just wanted a little soapbox there. So we'll move along, everybody, because Book of Boba Fett's got me in the wrong spot. So, all right. So let's talk about the animated stuff. I am a huge animated fan. That's probably the most like bust that I have in the collection. So let's talk about good old Mace Windu. And yes, he has both of his arms in this one. So go ahead.
Two-armed Mace Windu. No Chase variant here. He's based on his look in the Clone Wars, and this is part of our 1/7 scale lines. These are a little bit smaller than our 1/6 scale realistic busts, but the animated styles are about 1/7. We just did put a pre-order a Padme Amidala, which looked really, really nice. We got some really great responses from that at Celebration. Oh, hey, fantastic! But yeah, Mace. I'm a fan of the color purple. So Mace has always been a favorite of mine because of the purple lightsaber. But this one came out really great. I'm a big fan.
Well, I guess since you read my mind, so let's go ahead and jump into good old Padme here.
Yeah, no, she's a great looking piece. Again, Clone Wars style, and I think she's up for pre-order now, and she'll be coming out probably late spring. And Mace is, I think, a summer item.
Yep. So definitely some good busts heading our way with the animated. And I know there's already some great ones are out there, Maul and stuff like that. So I'm anxious to see, maybe we can try to get what's coming up next. It's always hard getting that out of you, but we'll see what we can do at the end of the show as well.
Well, we're trying to go back and forth between Clone Wars and Rebels. So so we've done a bunch of Rebels ones as well. I believe Darth Maul was from Rebels, and Vader, and we've done a couple of the crew members. We're working on a Hera and Chopper 2-pack. So there's definitely we're definitely more Rebels that we need to do. But the Clone Wars, obviously, we got a ton of characters we can work on.
We got some comments here. Love some Mace. That's from Pete. And again, I have to keep looking because for some reason that it doesn't not putting their names up on here, so I have to keep looking on here. Kevin, just hold your horses there. I bet you we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I hope so.
And but let's go ahead and talk about the Rebels Ahsoka bust here.
Ahsoka, this is Rebels. There's from the I guess the last season. I'm not as strong on the animated stuff as I am on the realistic, the live action stuff. So if you can correct me, Greg. This is her with the now this is not the one with the name the Morai.
Yeah.
Is that
This is the one from Rebels. This should be the one from Star Wars Rebels, because this is where the end scene where she meets up with Sabine, I believe.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking, but who knows? It could be. I mean, I could be wrong too, which is very likely. But
we have
this one is just again another great bust.
Yeah, there's a variant. There's a different version of this one as well, an exclusive web edition that I believe sold out. It was a limited number that came with a helmet from her clone trooper detachment.
It was in the snow, correct?
Hmm?
It was in the snow, correct?
Yes, in the snow. So that one is sold out, I believe. That was a lower edition size, but this one might still be up for pre-order in some places.
So that would actually be the Clone Wars then, because that was in the season 7 of Clone Wars. So there we go. If it was the snow, that would be it there. So moving on from Ahsoka. Now this one is, I love concepts. This is one of the things about Star Wars is looking at some of the old concepts and stuff. So tell us a little bit about Star Killer Hero here.
We try to do a concept piece every year. We weren't able to do one for San Diego this year, which is where we normally offer them. The last couple were Boba Fett and the Sand Trooper. And Darth Maul, of course. But this one we're going to be offering. We're offering now. We offered it for Black Friday, and this is Star Killer Hero, and she's got the lightsaber and the blaster, and it's just a really great piece. This is a piece of art that I wasn't as familiar with as a lot of the other ones, but I'm really glad we made it because it came out fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I think Greg, you did an article on this. I think a few weeks ago, maybe it was only 2 weeks ago, and I'm the same way. Like I was like, oh, I did not know about this concept character, so I do a little bit of research on it. But the figure itself turned out really good. I mean, the texture, kind of the leather and the armor that they have on, just, I mean, it's just really well done. The texturing and coloring too is perfect.
And I want to welcome Glenn. Thanks for watching, Glenn. Good to have you here. Now, the next bust is probably, other than Boba Fett stuff, is probably one of my next favorites. It's coming. And if you guys know me very well, you know who I'm talking about. That's Cad Bane. I'm so glad we are getting Cad Bane stuff, and it's exciting. And this is where I love going into the higher market of collectibles, because you're getting such details, such good things. So tell us a little bit about good old Cad Bane here.
Sure. This is one of the realistic takes, like that last Ahsoka. Is a more realistic take on the character, not specifically based on the Mandalorian, based on his Clone Wars appearance, but done in a realistic style. So this is a 1/6 piece, and I believe the pose is taken from an old Clint Eastwood movie poster. I could be wrong about that. But this is another one we did a limited exclusive of for the web, which was him with Toto 360, and but this is the regular edition, and I think it's cool regardless. So this is, I believe, going to be coming out in the spring. I'm pretty sure. So this is up for pre-order now.
Yep. And then also, too, real quick, I just want to say, hey, thanks to our sponsor, TRG Toys and Collectibles, who just chimed in and said that he loves this one as well. So thank you, TRG Toys, for joining us tonight. And make sure you check out, their stuff at trgtoys.com. So with all the busts that we talked about, Zach, is there any other ones that we kind of failed to mention, or some that you want to bring up that are heading our way or available now in stores?
Let's see. I think we just put a couple out this past couple of weeks. The Rex, Clone Wars Rex, the realistic Rex, just hit not too long ago. I think the Bigs came out not too long ago, which is one I was pretty excited about. He's got the interchangeable parts and everything. I think that covers it for everything for upcoming, pretty much. I mean, there's a lot upcoming, a lot that we're working on, but that's some of the newer stuff that we've solicited. It's honestly, we solicit about 3 or 4 Star Wars things a month in previews. It can be a lot to keep up with, but we're trying to keep production ahead of the releases and get them out in a timely fashion.
Yeah, I think it said out there on the website earlier today. I think I saw you also have a pre-order up for a Rogue One version of Andor. So I'm not sure how long that's been up. I saw that was available for pre-order also.
Yes, that one is up now. It's definitely based on Rogue One. I think his look changes a couple times in Andor, so I don't think we got any definite sense of what his final look was going to be there. But Rogue One's such a great movie, we figured we'd just go with that.
So before we grab into the statues real quick, Zach, there's actually a couple questions here for you, and hopefully we don't put you on the spot too much here. Do we have an ETA on the Stormtrooper Han Solo jumbo figure?
I am not sure about that one, but I think it's going to be coming out pretty soon. I don't think I've seen a production sample of it yet, but I don't usually get to see those that early. So I think it's going to be coming out pretty soon. But I will definitely try and update people on the message boards and everything, and I'll try to get Greg some more information as soon as I have it.
And then here's a good one for you for your customer service reps. This is from Paul. I had a great customer service experience with one of your reps today, so that's always good to know that they're getting taken care of there too. So
that's great. That's great to hear. I work with the customer service on a daily basis, and that's Jason. He does a fantastic job, and I even fill some of the customer service requests on the DST side as far as action figures and stuff like that, just because I have samples kicking around that I can always cannibalize for parts if we need them. So I don't do much with the busts, but I know that they have a system for returns and replacements, and it seems to be working out.
All right, so going into my Achilles, or my addiction, here we go. We're talking about statues. So this is where my pre-orders and stuff start hurting me a little bit, but let's just kick right into it with Ahsoka. So this is a beautiful piece. Zach, just just tell us about it.
This one is one of our. It's a part of a pair, really. They're meant to go together. We did a Darth Maul, Clone Wars version, which was really beautiful. Came out really great. I believe that one has shipped, and the Ahsoka is coming up. We had a system where if you ordered the Darth Maul, you had first crack at the Ahsoka, and that is, I believe, going to be coming out early next year. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece. And Maul is supposed to be the next one, so we'll get Maul here after this. But let's go ahead and skip on over to our good old friend Boba Fett.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, this one is obviously him from the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian, and it came out fantastic. Or season 1, I'm sorry. I love the Rancor heads on the armrest, and I'm not sure on the release date of this one, but it's definitely up for pre-order now. It should be coming out probably early next year.
Yeah, it's definitely a great piece there, and that was, when I was really excited about the Book of Boba Fett when we saw that in, and then it kind of went the way it did. Like I said, another show. So then we'll go into, I am so sorry. We're going to talk about Darth Vader next.
Excellent. Yeah, this is from Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's that big scene where the two of them face each other across the fire. Not specifically based on a particular scene, but meant to evoke that scene. And this is a part, again, meant to be a companion with another piece that we're doing, which is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, definitely, probably one of my favorite Star Wars scenes now. Just that whole, between the fire and then the whole fight scene at the end. I'm sorry if you haven't watched it, guys. We're spoiling it. But my favorite part was just the whole Vader going back from Anakin's voice to Darth Vader's voice. And if that didn't give you Star Wars chills, then nothing will. Just an amazing scene that I can never get enough of on that one. So another great piece coming up here. And there's going to be 2 pictures for this one. So Zach, you want to talk a little about Rex here?
Sure. This is the Clone Wars Rex. This is one of our Premier Collection statues. In fact, I believe the last 2 have been Premier Collections. The Ahsoka was a milestone, so it was 1/6 scale. But Boba Fett and Darth Vader and this piece are all Premier Collection, which means they're about 1/7 scale. And this is I love this one. He's got the thermal detonator. He's got the blaster. It's pretty cool. And I think your other picture of him with the interchangeable head. The unhelmeted head. So definitely a cool piece. I know he's a fan favorite character. And I hope people dig it because I think he's going to be coming out pretty soon. I was just looking at the ship date list to make sure, and he's going to be, if he's not going to be out by the end of the year, but he should be out very early next year, as well as Ahsoka and that Boba Fett on Throne. So
I think he's starting to hit now because I believe I saw him at our local comic shop.
Oh, great.
Last week. Travis, didn't we look at that one?
Yeah. Well, is this the one that matches up with an Ahsoka?
No. That was a different one. That was
a different one. Okay.
I thought I saw this one, but I could be wrong though.
I know I've seen it somewhere. I just can't remember if I've seen it digitally or in person.
Yep. And then we got good old Ben Kenobi here, so we're going back to a New Hope. And Zach, you want to talk about this one?
Sure. This is another 1/6 scale milestones piece, and this is definitely based on New Hope. And he is. We're doing a lot of Obi-Wan. We just put out the 1/6 scale Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. We have a couple of busts coming out. We have that Premier Collection, the one that goes with the Darth Vader that I mentioned earlier. But this is 1/6 scale. This is one of the pieces we're doing of him in his older look. And it's I think they really got the likeness pretty good on this one. So hopefully people like it. And it should be, if it's not out, I think it is out in the last couple of weeks. So definitely keep an eye out for it. And Akbar. Akbar is my favorite. And this one, I think we just solicited last month. So this one is going to be probably a late summer release. But it's perfection. I love it.
Yeah, we had one of our watchers previous to us going live, so to make sure to ask you about the Admiral Akbar statue. I think he has it on pre-order for Father's Day for next year already. So
excellent.
Yeah, this is a beautiful piece. Like I mean, it's probably easier to get a likeness of an alien, but it just looks so good. It's just one of those pieces that stick out and you definitely want to have in your collection.
Yeah, but just even
So,
the paint job on the the skin and stuff is just really well done. A lot of detail in it.
so obviously my PowerPoint skills are horrible because somehow I put them all at just about the end there. So go ahead and talk about the mall that goes with the Ahsoka piece.
No, I think you're doing pretty good. Ahsoka was a pre-order. This one's out, I'm pretty sure. So this one is meant to be a counterpart to that. I love the cuts. Ahsoka has this too, like the cuts in the ground from where they've been. Their lightsabers have been touching the ground and like touching off flames and stuff like that. So yeah, this one is a 1/6 milestones piece, and it was a great piece. And if you ordered that one, then you had first crack at the Ahsoka. And but I'm not sure. I believe you can still order Ahsoka. I'm not sure if she's completely sold out yet, but definitely check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, definitely when those pieces get together, people are going to start wanting that more and more when they start seeing those pictures of everything there. So with all the statues and everything that we talked about, again, like with the bust, is there any other ones that you like to mention that's either pre-order or coming out here soon?
Gosh, he wasn't. He turned out to not be much of an active character in Obi-Wan Kenobi, but the Grand Inquisitor has a really great look, and we've got a couple pieces coming out. We've got 1/6 scale bust, and then we've got I believe a 1/7 scale statue. So those are coming out, and they're a pre-order now. And you're probably looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to it. The Mandalorian Boba Fett. 1/6 scale, where he's got the totally beat up armor and he's leveling the blaster, and it's just a really beautiful piece. If they nail the paint, like they do in the prototype, it's going to look amazing. And I believe that comes out. I think it might be first quarter of next year. Let me just double check.
While you're pulling that, I guess a question on that Inquisitor piece. Is it going to be the Inquisitor sort of based on the Obi-Wan live action likeness, or the or the Rebels sort of animated likeness? So there's a lot of debate between when we saw the actor for the first time compared to the animated version. Fans were kind of torn between the two looks.
The bust and the statue doing are based on the live action Obi-Wan appearance. If they do well, I don't think we'd pile them all on at the same time, but if they do well, then an animated style one is certainly possible in the future for that 1/7 scale line. There's obviously a lot of great characters we can do from that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think we definitely want to do a Cad Bane in that 1/7 scale animated style look as well. But we'll see how the 1/6 scale realistic version does, and we'll have to roll those out as they come out. I'm not seeing that Han Solo Stormtrooper first quarter, so I'm not sure when that one is actually going to hit, but I'll keep an eye out for it, and I'll try to get some information.
And speaking of jumbo figures, also before we jump into this, I believe we actually have one of the artists that kind of helped with this watching tonight, Rick over at Left Coast Graphics. So Rick, if you're out there and you're watching, chime in when we start talking about these, because I believe Rick actually did the Ahsoka piece. So I'm pretty excited about that, that he was watching here tonight, because I know he's posted some stuff announced. But let's jump, Pete. We're doing this for you, Pete. I did this whole special for you for the jumbo figures. So let's go ahead and talk about it. We're going to start with good old Darth Maul.
Yeah, this one just hit, I think, in the last week or two. He does have a double-bladed lightsaber. We weren't able to include it in a lot of the solicitation pictures, but he does have a double-bladed lightsaber, and it does have 2 retractable blades, which is pretty cool. So, and this is, I believe, his cape is also removable, so you can display him however you like. And like the jumbo figures, if you're not familiar with them, he comes on a big blister card that it's got sealed with stickers, so you can cut it open, you can take them out, you can play with them, you can put them back in, you can seal it up again. They're a lot of fun. They're huge, those cards, and so you got to have some wall space to hang them, or a really nice filing system to store them. But they're a lot of fun, and this is one of the pieces that's not based on the original figures, but based on our own new designs for that sort of retro figure style, which we're doing with the concept figures like Concept Luke and Vader. We just did a Grand Admiral Thrawn, and we've got a couple more coming out. We've got a concept Han in the works, which is going to be really cool.
And that's Pete claiming he's not familiar with them, which is funny, but all right, Pete. So what I like about these is they're not from. I kind of am leaning more towards the non-original line of jumbos, like the Maul, the Ahsoka, and stuff. I for some those stand out more to me. I don't know about you, Travis, but I kind of like those compared to the like the Luke and the Han and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because I mean you're taking, I guess, something that didn't have a direct, old version to kind of replicate. You're putting your kind of own spin and kind of little design touches on it to make it something new, but looks like it could have come out back in the 70s.
Yeah, they're a little fresher, the new looks, the new style. You can get a little bit of fatigue with the older characters, but we're still doing Lukes. We just did a Yavin Luke for the Disney parks. If you're part of the Premier Guild, you're able to order it through the Premier Guild as well. And the Red 5 Luke, I believe, is out as well. And that one is just a really nice piece with a removable helmet and the lightsaber and the blaster. So, you still want those classic characters sometimes.
And so then we also got Boba Fett here in Left Coast Graphics. We're going to get to that question here in a second because we're going to talk about Ahsoka here soon. But let's talk about the good old Mandalorian Boba Fett here.
This is this has a feature that we've never really done before. This sort of half cape, the vinyl half cape. But it's a really nice piece. I believe this one. He should come with the blaster. I'm confused with the Mandos that we did, which each one came with a different weapon. But I believe he comes with his blaster. I don't think we've shown it anywhere, but I'm pretty sure he does. And this one is, I believe it's a second quarter release. I'm not seeing on the first quarter schedule, so I'm assuming it's second quarter. Second quarter. So we'll see that in the spring.
Nice. Sorry for the red light there. I thought I was getting hit with a lightsaber for a minute. My lamp turned on. So that was kind of interesting there. So then, we're going on to the Ahsoka piece, which again is another great piece. I love it. I saw people say, well, it doesn't look like, it's not supposed to. It's a figure. It's like one of the vintage looking figures. Like they didn't look like the actors either. So, and that's what I like about this piece. It's unique. It's different. So Zach, talk about this. And when do you think when piece?
I think the release date for this is more in the summer. But this is, I believe she comes with both swords. I'm not sure if there was another way to display them. I've seen some different versions of the arms so that you can have them regular as well as angled. I'm not sure if she's going to come with those in the final version, but her outfit is based on I believe based on the Mandalorian outfit. But it's it's not meant to be an exact likeness. It's meant to be sort of inspired by the classic figures, which didn't always have spot on likenesses either. Right. But this is a lot of excitement over this figure when we revealed it. Obviously, she's got a lot of fans.
Yep. And then the last jumbo figure, and we'll get into these other questions that are popping up here in a second. We'll talk about is Luke.
Oh, excellent! Yeah, no, this is one of my favorites. I thought he was out, but maybe he's not out yet. But he's well, Pete would know, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Pete, do you have this one yet?
Pete, do you have this one yet? We'll probably get an answer here in a second.
Yeah, no, this is a really nice piece with a removable helmet. Great, awesome. He's out.
There we go, everybody.
But yeah, no, it's I'm a little I'm not so when I was a kid, I had one vintage figure. I had Admiral Akbar. That was the only one I had as a kid. So when it comes to the vintage figures, I'm a little less clear on which ones are, have been done, which ones have been done in which format. I know they didn't do any removable helmet figures back in the day, so I'm not sure, how close he is to the original release. But it's definitely cool to be able to do the removable helmet and to give him the extra weapons.
Yeah, the removable helmet's a cool touch. I always like whenever there's a helmet character to be able to do either on or off, kind of gives that extra little way to display it.
And then here's a question for Pete as well here. Any talks of doing more prequel characters like Mace, General Grievous, or young Anakin?
Young Anakin would be awesome. General Grievous would be ambitious. Mace Windu would be doubly awesome. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to work at least 2 of those into the lineup. Grievous would be certainly very cool. But I haven't. Get to see the list of what they're working on every now and again. I haven't seen them specifically, but I'm sure that they've been considered just because they're such iconic characters. Whether they do young Anakin or like long hair or short hair, I'm not sure which they'd look at, but that would definitely be a cool piece.
So with the jumbo figures, and everybody, while we're finished up with jumbo figures, if you have questions, go ahead and throw them into the comments, and we'll start asking those. What other jumbo figures are you looking forward to coming out here shortly? And then what other ones are out? Some that we might have missed tonight.
Sure. Both Mandos are out. The Beskar as well as the original version. I believe the Beskar was a regular comic shop release. The original version, the season 1 version, was exclusive, I believe, to Big Bad Toy Store. We did a really great Grand Moff Tarkin that was exclusive to Entertainment Earth. Again, you can get these through the Premier Guild as well, but those were both available there. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last one that came out. I'm just checking out here to see if there's one that I missed. The Sand Trooper is coming up as well. I believe that's a regular release, so it's going to be going to comic shops and specialty stores. So I'll look for the Sand Trooper. He comes with his big old blaster. And like I said, the concept Luke and Vader are out, and the Han Solo is coming up. That's one of the ones we show on the back of the package. I forget who the 4th one we show on the back of the package is. It might be Chewbacca. But we definitely have plenty more in the works. There's a big box set coming up that's going to be very, very cool. I believe tied into Return of the Jedi, which I think we're going to be revealing in the next few months. But it'll probably be an end of the year release.
P said Tusken Raider too. So it looks like
Yes, the Tusken Raider. So we got the Tusken Raider. Wait, has Tusken Raider been announced? I saw somebody had asked about Cobb Vanth. I don't know if we're going to do a Cobb Vanth jumbo, but we definitely have a really cool Cobb Vanth bust in the pipeline. I'm not sure how we're going to be offering him, whether he's going to be a con exclusive or a regular release, but he will be definitely. Excellent.
That question was very special. Yeah, I think Greg put it up there. I did not pay her to ask that question, but she's aware of my love for the Marshall and Cobb Vanth. And yeah, I think a picture somebody had posted online. I think it was San Diego Comic-Con. I think you guys had maybe some prototypes or concepts of it.
Yeah, he might have been at San Diego. We definitely showed him, I think, at Celebration, probably in a presentation.
Yeah, he was at New York. I do know I did see it at New York, I thought, when we did that.
Okay, great. Well, so. Yeah, no, that's a really good looking piece. One they really nailed the likeness on, I thought.
Yeah, and it's throw out one thing too. In the past, and Greg knows we've talked about busts in the past. I've not always been the biggest fan of bust pieces, but the ones you guys do, I really, really do like them. I think because a lot of times they actually still keep the arms like holding the weapons and things, as opposed to just being cut off at the shoulder. So definitely, as far as bust goes, you guys are top notch. Some of the favorite ones I've seen out there.
Sorry, Travis, I had to put that comment up on the screen. So,
at least it said,
yeah. So like the bust, the statues are all amazing, but when we talk about action figures, when you talk about bang for your buck, I've really loved about. We're going to jump to the Diamond Select side for a minute. Are the Disney Store exclusives, the Select series? The Boba Fett was amazing. I did a review on that a while back, compared that to the Black Series figure, and by far it blew it away, detail wise, just by moving, posing, everything else. We've had, Stormtrooper, we've had Chewbacca. And I know you probably can't tell us, but are we going to be seeing more of those from Disney? I know there's probably some stuff in the works. Can you give us any hint that we might be seeing something soon?
There's definitely a few in the works. I think we've prototyped 3 additional figures. We're just waiting for the go-ahead from Disney Store. So because that's exclusive to Disney Store. I mean, we can only do it through them. So once they're ready to go, then we've got them all set and prepped. So so hopefully that line continues in the near future. I'm not sure exactly what their timeline is. But whenever they want to get it started, we are all ready.
Yeah, I mean, price wise, when you look at what you're getting compared to companies, you're getting for the same price, you're getting more accessories, a bigger figure. I mean, to me, I want more. Like I'm hoping that all of a sudden you guys just start dropping these things left and right, and that'll get me back into the figure collecting again. So maybe I don't want that, but yeah, it's just great overall figures. I love them, so hopefully we'll see them here shortly. So, and I can't let you go without trying to put you on the hot seat a little bit. Is there anything that you can tell us that, that everyone's going to be looking forward to? Any big announcements, something that, maybe something's releasing here soon? Give us something, Zach. We got to hear some good stuff. We want to keep this thing rolling. So
let's see. In next week, I think on the 23rd, we're going to reveal the next Premier Collection statue, which is an alien from Attack of the Clones. And I think we're going to reveal a bust, which is a realistic version of another Rebels crew member, which if people are keeping track, they could probably figure it out pretty easily. But we're definitely
let me look at my.
Yeah, you got to see what we've done. But we'll be revealing those end of next week. I think we might reveal the Rebels bust a little sooner than that. If I can place it with a place of first look with another website. Still working on those, but yeah, those are the 2 pieces we're going to be offering next week, and I haven't seen what we're going to be offering the month after that, like I guess it'd be late January at that point that we're going to offer those 2 pre-orders. But there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up, but we've shown a lot of it at the shows. We're going to have a few really cool exclusives for Celebration, which is in London this year. So if you are not a member of the Premier Guild and you're not going to be in London, you may want to think about joining the Premier Guild because then you'll have access to those exclusives. Sorry to be a shill, but I just want people to be able to get the stuff if they're interested in it. And I think the pieces we're going to be showing, we're going to have there are going to be pretty cool. Yeah. So definitely think about the guild if you haven't thought about the guild.
Yeah, the guild's been awesome. Like, I mean, it looks like a lot of money up front, but then when you realize that what you get back in return, like I know I still got another statue that's going to be coming here soon from last year's. But if you look like right there, that was the one from 2 years ago, the Flame Trooper. It's just it's unreal. You get your money back in an amazing piece, plus the discounts and everything else, and then first crack of exclusive. So check that out on their website. It's definitely it's an amazing program. I love it, and I take advantage of it, when I can as well. So.
Yeah, we've changed the setup a little bit this year. There's only 2 tiers instead of 3. I believe one is 100 and one is 150, but you get a statue or a bust with that. And if you look at the price of what we charge for statue or bust, it really makes financial sense to do that. And then add on the discounts and the access. It's really it really makes a lot of sense if you're a Gentle Giant collector.
Yeah. Yeah, some good stuff there. I love it. It's a great program, and like I said, even the discounts you get to help. And plus the first crack thing. I mean, there's stuff that sells out so fast sometimes, and it's nice to have that as well. So, yeah. So while we have you here, we're going to talk a little bit. And so we've got a lot of great series that's come out in the past here. And so, what has been your favorite so far? Obi-Wan, Book of Boba Fett, Andor. What's been your favorite and why?
I think from what I'm seeing on Instagram anyway, everybody seems to think that Andor is far and away one of the best series that they've done recently. And I will admit that I'm still a couple episodes away from finishing the series. I'm a little behind, but I got kids, so we got to switch back and forth between Disney Plus, and we got to switch back and forth to Netflix. Got to pick and choose. If I give them too many choices, then they just watch TV all the time. So, but so far, Andor is amazing. and I'm really loving it. Book of Boba Fett had some really cool stuff in it. Obi-Wan had some really cool stuff in it. I'm not really watching the Clone Wars or Bad Batch. I did watch the last season of Clone Wars, but I didn't watch. Haven't been watching Bad Batch. But no, I think every series has something to like about it. Mando's great. I love Mando.
Yeah.
But Andor has really been a game changer. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that happens in that series that you haven't seen happen in other Star Wars series. It's just it's so different and fresh.
Yeah.
I seem to be not alone in thinking that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit opposite though.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it was good. Like I had this conversation the other day with somebody, and it's a good series. I'm not saying it's bad. Oh, you don't like Andor? I was like, no, I didn't say I don't like it. It's good. I'm more of the old school. I like it. Let's get the lightsaber fights, and I won't spoil anything for you for the end since you haven't seen the end of it yet. But the end does redeem some of it for me.
Okay.
But starting out, it was tough. I had to actually do a couple episodes at a time where I would like lose interest. So it was definitely something that it grew on me a little bit, but it wasn't one of my top ones. Book of Boba Fett, honestly, it let me down. Like everything that I was hoping for and we were going to get, it was like a slap in the face as an old Fett fan. But hopefully somehow we'll get that redeemed. Maybe we'll get the old Boba Fett from the past, but.
But I think like Zach, like you said, every series, whether it's your favorite Star Wars series, your least favorite Star Wars series, it's probably there's still a lot of moments and parts to it that you still enjoy. So even Book of Boba Fett not being the greatest series, there were still some really great moments and characters that came out of that, Andor the same way. So that's I always tell people, even bad Star Wars, I find to still be better than most of the other stuff that comes out. So, I say, oh, I don't like it as well. It's still like 7 out of 10, which is still better than, 80% of the shows that I watch.
Yeah, let's just get rid of flashbacks. I'm so done with flashbacks. I don't want any more flashbacks. Let's just stay away from those, and I'll be all right and from there. But again, great show tonight. Zach, it was an honor having you in here and talking. And I know a lot of people here are diehard collectors. I mean, like I said, Pete, he's like the jumbo expert around here in our collecting world. So it's good to have you here and talk about what's coming out. We definitely would love to have you on the show again. It's been a blast. Great time with that. Again, everybody, I want to thank you all for watching. You can also follow, myself and Travis at the hashtag show at NerdyVet574 at Indiana Salone. DST Zach on Twitter and Instagram. He takes a lot of toy pictures like some of us do. So if you ever follow him on Twitter, you'll see those as well. DiamondSelect Toys.com, Gentle Giant. Make sure you check those out. Excuse me. And also want to thank our sponsor, TRG Toys and Collectibles. Thank you again for helping this show for us. And then again, follow us at the hashtag show.com. Before we go out, Zach, you got anything else for the fans? Any last minute surprises you want to reveal? We're gonna have to wait till the next big convention.
We'll definitely have a lot of cool stuff at the Celebration. Hopefully we'll be revealing those pretty early in the year next year. You'll look out for that big reveal next week. 2 big reveals. It's they're really cool pieces. But if I say too much, I get in trouble. So I for a while I wasn't allowed to talk about Star Wars at all. So I'm just happy to be here and talking to you guys.
Right. Yeah. We'll try to not get you. We'll try not to let Greg badger you into getting yourself into trouble. Unless you have a Cobb Vanth release date, then by all means spoil it.
I try it with everybody. Every interview I have, I have to try to at least get some kind of secret out of there. Even with Marvel or whatever it is, I always try to get something.
As soon as I have a Cobb Vanth bust sample, I will send it to you, Trav.
There we go. Yes, that's what we were waiting for this entire show.
Trust me, that's all we hear. That's all I hear every week. When's that coming out?
Well, it's so funny because I think when Greg, I think it was New York. I can't remember, it was one of the conventions. I was like, oh, hey, when you talk to him, ask him if they're doing a Cobb Vanth. And you're like, yeah, they didn't say anything. And then like 3 days later, I see pictures online. I was like, they knew, and they didn't tell you.
So yeah, that was a Celebration interview when I asked that one. So he did a good misdirect on that one. So I have to get up there. But everybody, thank you again for tuning in tonight. We had a great show, great time. Glad we could work through everything and get everything going here. Next week, we should be back to our regular time on Tuesday next week. Until then, you guys be safe Be cool out there, and like always, may the force be with you.